Welcome to today's minimal equipment calisthenics workout. I've designed this routine specifically for beginners who want to build the strength needed for your first chin-up and dip. Before we jump into our workout, let's prep those wrists with a quick warm-up. These exercises might seem simple, but they're crucial for preventing injury, especially since we'll be putting weight on our hands throughout this session. Let's start with one set of 10 first knuckle push-ups. Start with your palms flat on the ground and shoulders aligned over your hands. Lift your palms up, but keep your first knuckles on the floor. You can intensify this movement by setting up with your knees further back. You should feel a stretch in the fingertips when doing these. If you aren't, check to make sure you aren't using momentum to perform the movement. Now we've got one set of 10 wrist ball-ups. This time your palms are facing upwards. Keep your shoulders stacked over your hands and curl your fingertips in as much as possible. The last part of our warm-up is one set of 10 scap push-ups. In a high plank position, squeeze your shoulder blades together to drop your chest, and then push your shoulders away from each other and create a concave shape with your upper chest. Make sure your arms stay straight and that you're only moving through your shoulders. Whether it's calisthenics or weight training, your ability to understand scapular retraction and protraction is crucial when it comes to getting stronger at pushing and pulling movements. This warm-up is intentionally brief because the first superset will continue to prep our bodies for the more challenging pulling and pushing movements coming later. Let's get started with the first superset of the workout. A superset means we'll perform 2 exercises back to back. First up is the planche plank, a goodie for straight arms, serratus, and shoulder strength. Set up with your hands slightly wider than shoulder width apart and turn them outwards to focus more on challenging your shoulders than your wrists. Lean forward so your shoulders are angled over your hands. Hold this position for 20 to 30 seconds and focus on protracting your shoulders as much as possible and finding that concave position I mentioned earlier. Keep your glutes tucked under your pelvis. Next, we'll do scap chin-ups. I'll show you 3 variations, so pick the one that is appropriate to the rep range we're doing today, which is 6 to 10 reps. These are feet-assisted scap chin-ups. Set up with an underhand grip and keep your feet on the ground for support. Without bending your elbows, pull your shoulder blades down towards your hips and then shrug them up towards your ears. Scap chin-ups are great for teaching you how to better engage your lats, which is key to most calisthenics movements, from chin-ups to front levers and even certain planche variations. You can also try hanging scap chin-ups. This movement is identical, but now your feet are off the ground. Remember, we're not trying to do a full chin-up, so your arms should stay straight, but you can progress this movement further by increasing your range of motion and going into more extension through your upper back. And if you're working out at a park with only low parallel bars, you can perform these seated scap chin-ups. With all these variations, focus on quality over quantity. Progress doesn't necessarily mean more reps. It could also mean more range of motion or doing a harder variation at lower reps. After completing both exercises, rest for 60 seconds before starting your second round. Now that we've primed the key muscle groups, we're going to move on to building your pulling power with some chin-up variations. We're using straight sets for our main compound movements because they allow you to focus completely on one skill at a time. By giving each exercise your undivided attention, you'll improve your coordination, spatial awareness, and mind-to-muscle connection. All critical skills when progressing to more advanced calisthenics movements. Remember, calisthenics is as much about skill as it is about strength. During your rest periods, reflect on your previous set. Which parts of your technique need attention? What will you focus on improving in your next set? For these chin-up variations, choose the progression that matches your current strength level and perform 3 sets of 4 to 8 reps with 90 seconds of rest between each set. I'll go over these in order from easiest to most challenging so you can find your sweet spot of being challenged while practicing proper technique. First, we have feet-assisted chin-ups. Grab the bar with an underhand grip, shoulder width apart. Your feet will stay on the ground for support, but make sure you aren't squatting this movement. Focus on using your upper body to pull yourself up. Lower with control, but continue to keep your mind-to-muscle connection on your upper body so you are as light on your feet as possible. A harder progression is a feet-assisted chin-up with your legs extended. The setup is similar, but now you're keeping your legs straight, which is more challenging as less weight is being supported by your feet. For our third progression, we're introducing moments of full body weight support through the feet-assisted chin-up with a lift-off. Start with feet assistance to pull yourself up, then at the top, lift both feet off the ground and hold for 2 to 3 seconds. Return your feet to the floor before lowering with control. Our last, most challenging variation is the suspended negative chin-up. Here, you're doing a negative rep at full body weight. Use foot assistance to pull yourself up, then lift your legs, and keep them lifted throughout the entire lowering phase. For all these variations, focus on how it feels to depress your shoulders down to your hips to build your ability to engage your lats. By the way, if you're finding these cues useful, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Next up are straight sets of pike push-up progressions. I programmed these because a lot of beginners may not be ready for specific dip regressions. I've also found that pike push-ups and its regressions are more accessible to beginners, especially if you're training with minimal equipment. Like dips, pike push-ups are a vertical push, so you're still training that specific strength and targeting your shoulders, chest, and triceps. For these, choose the variation that challenges you appropriately and perform 3 sets of 4 to 8 reps. I'm giving you a wide rep range so you can do this for a few weeks in a row and apply progressive overload by increasing your reps. The most accessible progression are cow push-ups. Get into a quadruped position with your knees on the ground and hands aligned under your shoulders. Create a triangle shape by lowering your head down over your hands and then push back up. The head angle is important because you're better loading your shoulders to build your strength. Moving up in difficulty, we have eccentric pike push-ups. Start in a downward dog position with your hips high. The high hips create the vertical pushing angle we're targeting. Slowly lower your head toward the ground, then reset by coming to your knees before the next rep. With all these variations, focus on tracking your elbows at a 45-degree angle. Our most challenging variation is the full pike push-up. The setup is the same as your eccentrics. Again, lower your head toward the ground, creating that triangle shape, then push back up to the starting position. To maintain that 45-degree angle, it helps to think about screwing your hands outwards. Make sure you're keeping your weight evenly distributed on your fingertips and palms so that you've got a wider base of support to push through. Now we're moving to a superset that complements these movement patterns: inverted rows with a single arm negative and P-bar skull crushers. These exercises target similar muscle groups but from different angles. We're going to do 3 sets. Try to keep your rest breaks at a minimum of 90 seconds so you can perform each set with quality technique. For the rows, position yourself under a bar at an angle that challenges you. The more horizontal your body, the more difficult. Begin with both hands gripping the bar. We're using a neutral grip as a well-balanced program utilizes different grips. Pull up using both arms. At the top, release one arm and lower down with control with your other arm. Single-sided exercises like these address any strength imbalances you might have. Perform 6 to 10 reps on each side. Next in our superset are P-bar skull crushers. Set up with an overhand grip. Bend your elbows to lower your forehead towards the bar. Keep your arms close to your body and your elbows pointing backward. Use your triceps and shoulders to push yourself back up to your starting position. Keep your core engaged and spine neutral throughout the movement. Do 8 to 15 reps. I'm programming higher rep ranges for these accessory exercises because unlike gym workouts where you can add small weight increments to progress, bodyweight only exercises require a different strategy where you can increase the reps to apply progressive overload before moving on to a harder variation. For example, with the skull crushers, you can build up to 15 reps on a higher bar and then progress to 8 reps on a lower bar. The last superset of our workout is a core focused one that targets multiple functions of your core. We're going to do 2 rounds with a 60 to 90 second rest. First up are lying leg raises with hip lifts. Start by lying flat on your back and gripping onto something to help generate tension in your upper body. Engage your core by pulling your ribcage down to your pelvis. Keep your glutes and quads engaged as you lift your legs up. At the top, use your lower core and glutes to lift and extend your hips. This hip lift is helping build the coordination and strength needed for advanced skills like dragon flags and front levers. These movements require you to understand how to coordinate hip extension during upper body dominant exercises. The truth is, everything in calisthenics requires total body coordination, even when the stereotype is that it's only about the upper body. Lower down with control to your starting position, where your back is flat on the floor. You're going to do 10 to 15 reps. Next in our superset is the top half Superman hold. Superman variations are great for developing overhead mobility. Lie face down with your arms extended overhead. Keep your glutes and quads tense as you lift your chest as high off the floor as possible. Make sure to keep your arms straight as you try to reach your elbows up higher than your ears. To maintain total body tension and to keep your arms straight, it helps to clench your fists. As you hold this position for 20 to 30 seconds, keep trying to have your chest lifted as high as possible. And that's a wrap for today's Park Calisthenics workout. I'd love to hear where you are in your calisthenics journey right now. What skills are you working towards and what do you want more help with? Drop a comment below letting me know and I'll create specific workouts to address your goals. If you found this workout helpful, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on the next workout. See you at our next session.